The remarkable success of our species is down to the way in which we collaborate together. Welcome to this latest series of How to Work with Humans. At Threshold, we train business leaders in the art of getting the best out of human beings. And here we explore the standout topics from our recent sessions and the science behind them. The quality of collaboration is at the heart of the success of any team, organization, or civilization. Collaboration means that we all agree to work for the common good because the prize is bigger in the longer run. But this takes trust. This is because we are always at risk from those who pursue their own interests in the short term, while the rest of us are focused on the shared interest in the longer term. The philosopher Rousseau characterized this in terms of the deer hunt and the hare hunt. We can only catch deer if we collaborate and work as a team. This means everyone eats better. In the deer hunt, we must all take our position and be able to rely on one another to stay in that position if the deer is going to be caught. But supposing, for example, I'm in my position in the deer hunt and a hare runs past me. I might be tempted to abandon my position and go after the hare. That would mean there's a good chance that I, at least, get to eat hare. But this is at the cost of everyone else who will get to eat nothing. If we trust everyone else on the team, it makes sense to hold out and eat deer. If the trust isn't there, we're tempted to look after ourselves and go after the hare. You've probably seen this again and again in organizations. If everyone collaborates and works together, the prizes to be shared will be that much bigger. But we all know people who put their own interests first. They step on colleagues, they play the politics. The team and the organization suffers, and let's be honest, we've all seen these strategies pay off for those individuals in the short term. It can be very frustrating. So how do you build a team or an organization of deer hunters rather than hare hunters? Well, again, it seems that this is another case where EQ, emotional intelligence, is more important than IQ. We know this from the work of Gregory Burns, director of the Center for Neuropolicy at Emory University and author of The Self-Delusion, who we referred to in earlier videos in this series. You're probably familiar with the idea that as we grow from infancy through childhood and eventually to maturity, we develop what psychologists call theory of mind, the recognition that others have thoughts and feelings just as we do. Thinking about what somebody else may be thinking or feeling is called mentalizing. Now, it doesn't necessarily follow that someone who's more likely to choose the option of collaborating is practicing theory of mind or has any particular emotional intelligence. It may simply be a risk-benefit calculation based on a guess at what other people will do. And this is what Burns hoped to test out. Burns and his team set up a series of deer hunt-like games for people to play while their brains were scanned. The aim of the game for the participant is to get the best payoff for themselves. If they choose to cooperate when the other person chooses to cooperate, it's the biggest win. But if the other person has chosen not to cooperate, you'll be better off if you've chosen to cut your losses and not cooperate also. Burns had two setups. In setup one, participants were playing against other people. In other words, they were guessing whether real people would choose to cooperate. In setup two, they were guessing on whether a computer program would throw up a random cooperate or not cooperate option. If choosing to cooperate had little or no association with mentalizing, thinking about what the other person was thinking and feeling, we'd not expect to see much difference at all in brain activity between the two setups. But the results were eye-opening. When people chose the deer hunt approach, in other words, they opted for teamwork and collaboration over looking after number one, and they were playing against actual people, there were significantly high levels of activity in the brain regions associated with mentalizing and theory of mind. And there's no such activity when people opt for non-cooperate or play against mere computer programs. If we're going to collaborate and cooperate with others and genuinely put shared needs above everything else, we need the ability to understand others and recognize them as fully rounded human beings with thoughts and feelings such as our own. It won't surprise you that people with higher emotional intelligence are more likely to opt for the teamwork or collaboration approach. Emotional intelligence isn't just about being nice to each other or creating a happier work environment. It's essential for performance. To find out more about Threshold and how we can help leaders in your organization to get the best out of human beings, go to threshold.co.uk. You can watch the rest of our How to Work with Humans series on our channel. Do share and subscribe.